My name is Alex. Listen to my story carefully. This story will touch your heart, make you feel deep emotions, and inspire you in a way you never imagined. Stay with me till the end, and I promise you will never forget it. It was a cold winter night. The wind was strong, and the streets were empty. A small boy, no more than 10 years old, sat on the side of the road. His clothes were thin, his hands red from the cold, and his little eyes were filled with sadness. He was hungry. His stomach had been empty for 2 days, but there was no one to help him. People walked past him. Some looked at him with pity, but no one stopped. The boy's name was Liam. He had no mother, no father, no family. He had lost everything in a terrible accident. His small hands trembled as he hugged himself for warmth. He looked at the sky, hoping for a miracle. Just then, an old man passed by. His clothes were old, his shoes had holes, but his eyes were full of kindness. He stopped and looked at Liam. "Son, are you okay?" the old man asked softly. Liam looked up, his lips trembling. "I'm hungry," he whispered. The old man sighed. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small piece of bread. It was all he had. "Here, eat this," he said with a gentle smile. Liam's eyes widened. He took the bread with shaking hands and ate it quickly. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "Thank you, sir," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. The old man sat beside him. "Life is hard, my boy," he said, "but never lose hope. Kindness is everywhere. Sometimes we just have to look harder." Liam listened carefully. He had never heard such kind words before. The old man continued, "When I was young, I was also alone. I had no food, no home, just like you. But one day, a kind lady helped me. She gave me food, a warm blanket, and most importantly, she gave me hope. She told me, no matter how dark the night is, the sun will always rise." Liam looked at the man with big, curious eyes. "Did your life get better?" The old man nodded. "Yes, because I never gave up. I worked hard. I believed in kindness, and now I try to help others whenever I can." Liam felt something he had not felt in a long time: hope. The old man smiled and stood up. "Come with me," he said. Liam hesitated, but something about the man's voice felt safe. He got up and followed him. The old man took Liam to a small house. It was not big, not fancy, but it was warm. There was a small fire burning in the corner, and the smell of hot soup filled the air. "Sit down, son," the man said, pouring a bowl of soup. Liam took the bowl, his hands still shaking. He sipped the warm soup, and for the first time in a long time, he felt safe. Days passed, then weeks. Liam started helping the old man with small tasks. He cleaned, he learned to cook, and slowly, he began to smile again. One evening, Liam looked at the old man and said, Why did you help me?" The old man smiled. "Because someone once helped me when I needed it the most. And now I do the same. The world needs more kindness." Liam thought for a moment and then said, "One day, I will help others too." The old man nodded, his eyes shining with pride. Years passed. Liam grew up. He worked hard, he studied, and he never forgot the kindness he received. One day, he saw a small girl sitting alone on the street, shivering in the cold. Her eyes were filled with the same sadness he once had. Liam knelt beside her and said softly, "Are you okay?" The girl looked up, her lips trembling. "I'm hungry," she whispered. Liam reached into his pocket and pulled out a piece of bread. "Here, eat this," he said with a gentle smile. The girl's eyes widened, just like his had once. At that moment, Liam realized something important. Kindness never dies. It is passed from one heart to another, like a flame that never goes out. This is life. Sometimes we struggle. Sometimes we feel lost. But there's always hope, always kindness, always love. So, if you ever see someone in need, remember this story. Be the light in someone's darkness. Be the hope in someone's despair. Because one act of kindness can change a life forever. Liam sat beside the little girl as she ate the bread hungrily. He could see the tears in her eyes, the same tears he had once cried. He knew that pain, the emptiness, the loneliness. "What's your name?" Liam asked gently. The girl looked at him with cautious eyes. "Emma," she whispered. Liam smiled warmly. "Emma, where are your parents?" Emma lowered her head. "I don't know," she said in a small voice. "They left and never came back." Liam's heart ached. He knew that feeling all too well. He had once been just like her, sitting on the cold streets, waiting for someone to care. Without hesitation, he reached out his hand. "Come with me, Emma. You don't have to be alone anymore." Emma hesitated for a moment, but something in Liam's voice made her trust him. Slowly, she placed her small hand in his. It was cold, trembling, just like his had been when the old man had helped him. Liam took her to the very same house where he had found warmth and love. The old house that once belonged to the kind old man was now Liam's. He had kept it exactly the same, as a memory of the man who had changed his life. Inside, the fire was burning softly, filling the room with warmth. Liam brought Emma a blanket and a bowl of hot soup. As she took her first sip, tears rolled down her cheeks. Why are you helping me?" she asked. Liam knelt beside her and smiled. "Because someone once helped me when I needed it the most. And now I do the same." Emma looked at him with wide, teary eyes. She didn't say anything, but in that moment, Liam knew her heart was healing, just like his had all those years ago. Days passed, then weeks. Emma began to smile again, She would help Liam cook, clean, and even laugh. She was no longer a lost, hungry girl on the streets. She was home. One evening, as they sat by the fire, Emma looked up at Liam and asked, "Where is the man who helped you?" Liam's smile faded slightly, but there was warmth in his eyes. "He's not here anymore, Emma," he said softly, "but he is always in my heart." Emma nodded, understanding. "Do you miss him?" Liam took a deep breath. "Every single day. But I know he would be proud of me, because now I am helping others, just like he helped me." Emma thought for a moment, then said, "One day, I will help others too." Liam's heart swelled with emotion. Those were the same words he had once said, sitting in the very same place. He knew then that kindness never ends. It keeps going, from one person to another, like a never-ending circle of love. Years passed, and Emma grew up. She worked hard, just like Liam had. And just like Liam, she never forgot the kindness she received. One rainy night, as she walked home, she saw a little boy sitting alone in the cold. He was shivering, his eyes filled with sadness. Emma knelt beside him and smiled. "Are you okay?" The boy looked up, his lips trembling. "I'm hungry," he whispered. Emma reached into her bag and pulled out a piece of bread. "Here, eat this," she said with a gentle smile. The boy's eyes widened, just like hers had once. At that moment, Emma realized kindness never stops. It continues forever, passing from one heart to another. And so, the cycle of kindness lived on. No matter how dark the world may seem, love and kindness will always shine through. One small act can change a life, and that life can change many more. So, if you ever get the chance to help someone, don't hesitate. Be the light in someone's darkness, because the world needs more love. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more beautiful and inspiring stories. Let's spread kindness together. Thank you for listening. Would you like me to continue even further? Years passed, but the story of kindness never ended. Emma continued to help those in need. Just as Liam had helped her, she had built a small shelter where lost and hungry children could find food, warmth, and a place to belong. One day, as Emma was walking through the market, she saw an old man sitting on the ground, struggling to stand. His clothes were torn, his hands shaking. People walked past him, ignoring him. Emma's heart ached. She rushed to his side. "Sir, are you okay?" she asked softly. The old man looked up, his eyes tired but filled with wisdom. I just need some water," he whispered. Emma quickly bought a bottle of water and gave it to him. As he drank, she noticed the deep lines on his face. He had lived a hard life. "Do you have a home?" she asked gently. The man shook his head. "Not anymore," he said with a weak smile. Emma thought of Liam, of the old man who had helped him, and how kindness had changed their lives. She knew what she had to do. "Come with me," she said. The old man hesitated. "Why are you helping me?" Emma smiled. "Because someone once helped me when I needed it the most. And now I do the same." Tears filled the old man's eyes. "You remind me of someone I once knew," he said softly. Emma took him to the shelter. She gave him food, warm clothes, and a place to rest. Slowly, the sadness in his eyes began to fade. He started to smile again. One evening, as they sat together, the old man looked at Emma and said, "The world needs more people like you." Emma shook her head. "No," she said. "The world just needs more kindness. And kindness starts with one person." The old man nodded. "Yes, one act of kindness can change a life." The days turned into months. The old man grew stronger, healthier. He began helping others in the shelter. He would sit with the children, tell them stories, and remind them that no matter how hard life gets, there's always hope. One day, Emma received a letter. It was from Liam. "My dear Emma, I heard about the wonderful work you are doing. My heart is full of joy. Do you remember the words I once told you? Kindness never dies. I see now that those words have become a reality. When I was a lost boy, someone helped me. When you were a lost girl, I helped you. And now, you are helping others. The circle of kindness continues. This is the true meaning of life, not money, not power, but love. Helping others, spreading kindness, and being a light in someone's darkness. I am proud of you. With love." Liam. Tears rolled down Emma's cheeks as she read the letter. She held it close to her heart, knowing that she was exactly where she was meant to be. One night, as she sat with the old man by the fire, she looked at him and asked, "If you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be?" The old man thought for a moment, then smiled. "Nothing," he said. Emma was surprised. "Nothing? Even after all the pain, all the struggles?" The old man nodded. "Yes, because every hardship led me to this moment. If I had never suffered, I would have never known the true power of kindness. And if I had never known kindness, I could never share it with others." Emma felt something deep inside her heart. The world was not perfect. There was pain, suffering, and sadness. But there was also love, kindness, and hope. And as long as people chose kindness, the world would never be truly dark. So, dear listener, remember this story. If you ever see someone in need, don't turn away. Be the one who stops. Be the one who helps. Because kindness never dies. It lives on forever. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more beautiful and inspiring stories. Let's spread love and kindness together. Thank you for listening. Would you like me to continue even further? Years passed. But the story of kindness never stopped. Emma continued to run the shelter, helping children, the elderly, and anyone who needed love and care. The small shelter became a home for many lost souls, a place where they could heal and find hope again. One day, a young boy named Noah arrived at the shelter. He was thin, covered in dirt, and his eyes held a deep sadness. He had been abandoned by his parents and had spent months wandering the streets, begging for food. Emma knelt beside him, just as Liam had once knelt beside her. "Are you okay?" she asked gently. Noah hesitated, afraid to trust. I'm just hungry," he whispered. Emma smiled warmly. "Come inside. You don't have to be hungry anymore." Noah followed her inside. She gave him food, warm clothes, and a bed to sleep in. But more than anything, she gave him kindness. Days passed, then weeks. Slowly, Noah began to open up. He started helping around the shelter, playing with the other children, and even laughing again. One night, as he sat beside Emma, he looked at her and asked, "Why do you help people like me?" Emma smiled. "Because someone once helped me when I needed it the most. And now I do the same." Noah thought about her words. He had never known kindness before. He had always believed the world was a cruel place. But now, he wasn't so sure. One evening, as Emma was preparing dinner, she suddenly heard loud knocking at the door. She opened it to find a man standing there, his clothes wet from the rain. His face was tired, his eyes full of regret. "Emma," he whispered. Emma gasped. It was Liam. She hadn't seen him in years, but he still had the same warm smile, the same kind eyes. "Liam?" she cried, hugging him tightly. "You came back." Liam smiled. "I had to. I wanted to see what you've built, what you've become." Emma wiped her tears. "You were right, Liam. Kindness never dies. It keeps growing." Liam looked around at the shelter, the happy children, the warm fire. "You have done something incredible, Emma," he said. This is the true meaning of life." Emma felt a lump in her throat. "I couldn't have done it without you," she whispered. Liam shook his head. "No, Emma, you did this because your heart is full of love, and that love is changing lives." Noah, who had been watching from the corner, walked up to them. "Is he the one who helped you?" he asked Emma. Emma nodded. "Yes, Noah, this is Liam. He changed my life." Noah looked at Liam with wide eyes. Then, without warning, he hugged him tightly. "Thank you," he whispered. Liam was surprised. "For what?" "For helping her," Noah said. "Because now she helps me." Liam felt his heart swell with emotion. He looked at Emma, then at the children around him, and he knew the kindness he had received from the old man all those years ago had never stopped. It had grown, spreading from one person to another, creating a chain of love that would never break. That night, as they all sat by the fire, Liam turned to Emma and said, "This shelter, this family you've created, this is proof that kindness is stronger than anything in the world." Emma nodded. "Yes, and as long as people choose kindness, the world will never be truly dark." Liam smiled. "Then let's make sure it never stops." And so they continued their mission, spreading kindness wherever they went, changing lives, and proving that love, no matter how small, can make the world a better place. Dear listener, remember this story. If you ever get the chance to help someone, don't hesitate. Be the light in someone's darkness, because one act of kindness can change a life, and that life can change many more. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more beautiful and inspiring stories. Let's spread love and kindness together. Thank you for listening. Would you like me to continue even further?